No big decision on which power to unseal that time. So now all powers are unsealed.
Yay!
Chan, that's the version that appears in most games.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. They had it a little different for Nocturne, and that carried over to Strange Journey. Nocturne, the cell shading made it look really freaky. Hold on, wait for the picture.
So right now I'm
Looking
making
at the wiki page.
I'm making preparations for the most difficult boss in the game, the optional boss.
Oh yeah, the little gallery thing that we got.
And to do this, I'm making sure, so Quistis right now only has two, she had only 2 junction slots for status defense and only 2 for elemental defense. By using some of the items that I got from defeating the bosses, I am expanding those so that she has 4 of each. Again, you're going to have to use Amnesia Greens to get a GF to forget an ability if it already has its full list, which all of my GFs do at this point.
Is it just me, or is it really, really annoying that the cursors on the on things you've already selected start blinking?
I think it may be more annoying when I put it on YouTube because the frame rate is slightly different.
Yeah.
Because, to me, I'm seeing it as, I mean, I don't have epilepsy, but it's just really, it's not really hurting my eyes, it's just making me really angry.
The epilepsy channel?
It could get annoying over time, I imagine.
I mean, look at it, it's
well,
so distracting.
I'm not going to be doing this for very long.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway.
just doing weird stuff on here because of the frame rate, I think.
Another way to make sure that Amnesia Greens won't take away any ability that you really needed is that if the ability that you're replacing it, if the new ability that you're adding is a stronger version of a previous ability, then just delete the previous ability, because it won't add anything. Like if you have Elemental Defense times 2 and Elemental Defense times 4, that won't be any greater effect than if you had just Elemental Defense times 4.
So is that the side boss thingy, that smoke? No.
Yes, but we have to do something to get to it.
We
So,
have to sing!
yes, actually, what you want to do here is mash all the keys at the same time.
Really?
Why?
Which is not that easy to do.
I don't know, depends how big your thumb is. I mean,
Well,
it seems like the hardest
Tried
part.
a few times.
So,
Wow, so basically, it's like when some, little kid or whatever tries to hit all the keys on a piano at once. Squall
Yes.
is just doing that right now. He's basically whacking his entire body against that organ.
it's only 8 keys.
that's a pretty limited organ.
Most organs have, hundreds of keys because they have several levels.
They're not even proper. They're not even proper notes.
No, they are not. They are solfege symbols. That is a good point. Although in French, if in French the names of the notes are those.
Really?
Yeah. Except that instead of do you have ut. Instead of t, and instead of t you have c. Alright, so you had to get the floodgate key because you had to drain the water out of that area to get to the Rosetta Stone.
Hooray! And now you get...
You also get a shortcut to here. Not that it's that useful, but you get it.
Get here and remember remember your fond memories of getting that prison key. Reminisce.
Shortcut to get...
Shut up, it was funnier in my mind.
Well, see, you can reminisce upon these memories, which eats them.
Alright, now I'm making more preparations. And I'm making sure that everyone has a GF that has the ability times 4 ability.
That way they're not lonely.
And they're not left out.
Equality.
Wait,
That's
did the
be-
Rosetta Stone not disappear after you used it?
I have 2 of
Yeah,
them.
Oh, okay.
And he's paying attention.
ChozoDisc.
That's one of my GFs, because Chozo Disciple.
Okay, I was thinking. Never mind.
ChozoDisc.
No, Colin, it has nothing to do with Metroid.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that they had like thrown in some Metroid reference, but then I realized no, it's well,
Not
I didn't-
Nintendo.
You're allowed to name all of the GFs, and that's what he did.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Also, I read somewhere that Angelo is supposed to be a female dog. They don't really give any indication of that, and the name makes you think it's supposed to be male.
I thought it was
Wow.
now, okay.
What a bitch.
Colin!
Colin, you're just going for the low-hanging fruit, aren't you?
That's you know, when you don't have the skill to go for any of the higher hanging fruit, you just kind of reach for what you can get.
I could have made that joke in any of the 140 Okami videos I've uploaded so far, but I have not.
Why haven't you? You should just do it in every single one. It's like a fine wine. It gets funnier with age. It tastes funnier and funnier and funnier.
And you just get strangers.
Is, how dare you hit a goddess? Take that!
Yet it's fine for the goddess to hit lots of things.
Yes. I was just being silly when I play.
So I had no idea what to put on Quistis, so it's like, okay, let's just improve her luck stat.
Just throw whatever on there.
Incidentally, I don't know what luck actually does in this game.
Probably critical hit chance.
Yeah, maybe if you're lucky it has something to do with limit breaks. I hope.
Yeah, probably it also has. Are there randomized like loot and stuff? Oh yeah, item drops. Probably has something to do with item drops.
Maybe. So I think I'm almost done with my preparations now. I'm just seeing if there's anything else useful I could do. Oh yeah, the moon curtain. I think I got that because I had 100 Marlboro tentacles and refined them. Oh, very important thing. Make sure that as many characters as possible have the defend command for this next battle that I'm going to do. This command is pretty much useless for the entire game, except for this battle.
Isn't defend normally pretty useless anyway?
Well, for one thing, this is a more enhanced version of that. This means until you take another turn, magic damage is cut by half, and physical damage is eliminated.
Wow, that's actually useful.
Yes, it is. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing right now.
So is this the half an hour boss battle you were talking about?
Yes. And I probably could have gotten it done more quickly, but at a certain point, I decided, okay, the more quickly I try to do this, the riskier it's going to be, the more the chance that I'm going to screw up something and lose.
And we don't want you to do that.
No. I also removed my elemental attack junctions, because I think this thing absorbs every element.
That sucks.
Yeah, also you want everyone to be completely immune to the death status.
It's always just a good thing to have.
Yes.
Indeed it is.
Squall attacks with pain, because he is so angsty. I actually like...
Pain will make you feel my pain! How about you?
I actually like Squall as a character, but that doesn't mean it's hard to make fun of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do find you can make more fun of the characters that you like because you know more about them than the characters you don't like because you don't want to know about them.
I've been watching FF10, the abridged series. And the one line that keeps coming back to me is they have Jecht on the TV screen because it's the Jecht Memorial Cup at the beginning. And whenever he shows up, he'll have him saying, "I'm better than you." Alright, so you want to put one party, the party that is going to fight this battle, on this switch point. Then you want to switch to the other party, which will be here. Do not put junctions on the other party. Instead, just go right up to this cord, which I'm trying to get to. What am I doing now?
What does the other party do when the other party is running around doing stuff?
They just sit there. Which is a bit justified because they don't have the junctions. Anyway, you ring this bell by pulling that cord, which starts a timer. And you theoretically get a minute, but by the time the animation is ended, you only have like 48 seconds. So you switch to the other party.
Get back to that mist.
And that also uses like 5 seconds.
Yes, and
Well, that doesn't even make sense why it would actually take any time to switch to an entirely different group of people.
no,
Was
it doesn't
that-
make sense.
Was
Anyway,
that the boss?
you use the remaining time to switch the encounter non-ability for something else that will actually be useful in battle.
Auto shell. then
And
you're
yes,
affected.
this is the boss. This is Omega Weapon.
Ooh, I knew F1 you would boss because it looked familiar.
This is Ultima Weapon on steroids. And Ultima Weapon was already pretty tough. So you want to have everyone immune to death because he will always start out with that. The level 5 death spell. And since all my characters are at level 100, it could have wiped us out.
What exactly does death do? Is it like just an instant kill one?
Yes.
So it's basically like, never mind.
It's pretty simple, Colin.
It kills you if it hits.
Exactly.
Basically, I hate instant kill attacks is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
they're cheap and annoying and stupid.
But what is if you were able to do it?
Then that breaks the game.
That's not very sporting, is it?
No, it is not.
You're not giving the moves a fair chance.
Speaking of which, there is one limit break of selfies that I do not show, because it is based so much on luck and is just so hard to get. Her last limit break is called The End. It kills any non-undead enemy. Even bosses.
Wow. That's...
Makes sense why it's so hard to get then.
Although I believe it does not work on the final boss.
Well, that would make sense.
Anyway, this thing is really dangerous, and it has a shitload of HP, like over 1 million.
All
Yeah.
of your hit points.
You have to pray each turn.
Yeah, unfortunately this isn't Earthbound. The Aura
That's
spell...
actually- Yeah.
The Aura spell is very useful.
Did any of you, like, when you were younger or whatever, read Kid Rad?
Nope.
Never heard of that.
The webcomic thing? It was a very early webcomic, and it was, like, hardly made, like, it was made out of GIF animations, but it was sort of like a comic. You know, kind of a very early sort of web media. Whoa.
Ooh, you're real.
Yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention, you want everyone to have 9,999 maximum hit points, because Megiddo Flame always does exactly 9,998 points of damage to everyone.
Wow.
Crap.
That's basically right there.
Now, I really should have done something else other than what I did. I should have known to do something else, because whenever he uses Gravia, this is his next attack, Terra Break. Watch what this does.
I'm watching. Lasers everywhere.
That did like 30,000 or 40,000 damage.
I'm pretty sure there's no way to survive that attack. Wait, how do you survive that attack anyway?
That's insane.
Well, you'll see.
Game over, man. Game over.
Anyway, so I tried once again to encounter this
Wait,
guy.
Is this editing magic, or do you have to do it all again?
Both.
Oh, that's what I meant.
So look what happens this time. I run into a random encounter,
Oh,
my God.
wow.
which naturally takes up the rest of the time, which
Wow,
means
that
I can't fight it, and I have to go back and do it over again.
is obnoxious.
Annoying.
I guess maybe you have to take it off closer to the... Wow, that's
Yeah.
really obnoxious.
Okay, now here's what happens the next time I try to do it.
Do you run into another? Oh. Wait, what's it mean by monsters can be heard running away?
Roaring far away.
Yeah. Oh, it's referring to the thing. Wait, then why is it monsters and not monster?
Colin, it doesn't really matter. So I run into another random encounter this time.
Just the first strike.
I don't
Surely
care.
it's the
I'm not
courtesy
interested
of,
in...
like, okay, every time it fades out, we're using up about 5 seconds here.
Exactly. That's the problem. You have to pay for the game's loading time.